Okay, so this is a Chapter 10 test. It's being recorded by my sister. She's not being paid because I'm broke. So anyway, let's just get right to it. Right, here's a good example for a graph. Start with the graph. You must know the origin. Let's make the origin right there. It's erasable. So anyway, from there you can go up, down. I just start right there. Okay? So anyway, first off, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. -1, -2. Yeah, hold on. I'm having a brain fart. Damn, we can wash that off. Anyway, -1, -2, -3, -4, you know, and so on and so forth. So anyway, to start with, Vivian, what are you doing?
Getting you a towel.
No,
In case you need to erase.
later. So anyway, let's just get right to it. So let's start by naming all 4 quadrants. Right here is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Make sense?
Yeah.
So anyway, for all this, for quadrants, you need to know that this is always, quadrant 1 is always a positive and a positive. Quadrant 2 is a negative and a positive. Quadrant 3 is a negative and a negative. And quadrant 4 is a positive and a negative. But I drew 4, or wrote 4 for some reason. So anyway, this makes some sense, correct? No? Okay, who cares? So anyway, what does this mean? For a coordinate, you always must do x, then y. Okay? So you have x and y. That's pretty basic. The x is this line, x. Y is this line.
Vertical.
Yeah, you probably not heard Vivian. Okay, so point is y. Makes sense. So, and as you see right here, x then y. Let's say you need to find 1, -2. You start by going right 1 and then down 2. That will be like right there. See that? Okay. So all this makes sense. Now you need to know your intercepts. And intercept, for starters, the y-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Now you probably have no idea what m and b are. M is your slope. B is the y-intercept. That makes sense?
No.
Okay. Now, my sister's very confused, but she's in 5th grade. Could you hand me the towel now, Vivian?
Close the door so that.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So let's just erase these stuff. Oh, wow, that worked really well. Okay, so yes, that makes sense. So let's just say, hold on. Hold on. So let's just extend this little. Okay, so that's probably gonna be on for a while. Anyway, let's just put 1, -2. Let's make this scale a little bigger. So 1, -2, and let's say, and let's say, no. Let's just put, yeah, right there. 1, 0. That's 0, 1. I'm sorry. And to find this, you need to have the y, you have this and that, and anyway, let's just get them out. So 1, -2, and 0, 1. That's pretty basic. Now, to find your slope, you need to subtract the y's and the x's. So this is the 2, this is the 1. So you subtract 1 from -2, or 1 plus 2. Put that over 0 minus 1, which equals 3 over -1, or just -3. So that -3 is the slope. Now the intercept, this is easy. It's right there. Intercept is 1. So that will make our y-intercept equation. Y equals -3x plus 1. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. So we have that. That is a y-intercept with this example. So now that we have that, you must know about parallel lines. So parallel lines are when two lines are parallel. Parallel, it's a basic form, it's a basic thing. So let's just say we have -1, 1, and 0, -1. I don't know why I'm always on the y-intercept. So yes, you have that. Let's just say you move up to here and here. These are the same. These are parallel. Their slopes are identical. So if you have, so let's say you have right there, it's -1, 1, and 0, -1. So you get there, and it's a, what's it called, you subtract the -1 minus 1 over 0 minus 1, you know, the whole shebang, and that equals -2 over -1, or just 2. And then it's just, so it is 2. So from 3, 0, 3, 0, and from 1 over 1, let's go to 2. That is 0, 3. I keep mixing it up. 0, 3, and then you get 2. That is, then you get to right there. That's 2, 0, 2, 0. So let's try the whole intercept thing. So -1 minus 2 over 1 plus 1. That makes -3 over 1. Okay, -3. So anyway, then you get to right now. So then you get to -3 over 2. So that's exactly the same. Those are parallels. Then you know that whole thing. Could I use the top?
Yeah.
Now there's then there is there's a perpendicular line. It's when why?
My legs are tired.
Okay, so yeah, you have perpendicular line. That's parallel. They're exactly the same. They go the exact same way. A perpendicular line is a 90-degree angle from where the two lines meet. So anyway, I'm not sure how to write this one down. So let's just go 0, 1. So, yeah. 0, 1, so you got the 1, and 1, 0. 1, 0, 0, 1, you know, or just 1, 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get to there, 4 minus 1 is, then 1 minus 0 equals, then that equals 3 over 1, so just 3. And then let's try a reverse version of this. It is literally just a perpendicular line. You'd have to have one, and that's from there. It winds up being -1 over 3. You reverse the slope. So yeah, 3, -1 over 3. Think of it like dividing fractions. You you always gotta flip it. You gotta flip it, and you add on a -1. Like, that is a basic way of making it. And if it's not either of these, it's just another line they intersect at some point. So yes, and then one other thing is standard form, completely away from lines and whatnot. So standard form you get from y minus y1 is equal to slope parentheses x minus x1. So let's get the trusty old 1, -2, and from there it's y plus 2 equals, let's make the slope 4/3. 4/3, parentheses, x minus 1. So from there, you gotta go y plus 2 equals, that equals, goes 4/3x minus 4/3. Now here's the thing about standard form. There cannot be any fractions. So one thing to do is, if you do have a fraction, multiply by the denominator. And something I do personally is, if that's a negative, if the x is a positive, I make it a negative. So that way it's easier in the long run. So you multiply everything by a -3. So then you get -3y minus 6 equals -4x plus 4. So yeah, you add 4 to the other side, and then 4x minus 3y minus 6 equals 4. You add the 6, and then you get 4x minus 3y equals 10. So let's say you go from, so we have our 4x minus 3y equals 10. Okay, so from, let's say we want to get there from get to the y-intercept from there. So you have so let's say you have this. First things first, you subtract the 4x, minus 4x, minus 4x, so that makes -3y equals -4x plus 10. Here's the thing, you have to also divide -3, because, well, you can't, it has to be just a y on the other side. So that makes y equals -4/3, or just makes 4/3x minus 10/3. That makes sense? Okay, so one last thing is Vux and Hoy. See, Vux is a vertical undefined slope, with x being a constant. That's basically 0, or undefined. That is its slope. That's its slope. It's undefined. That's basically, I believe, when the top part of our rise over run, our y over x for a slope, that is when the y is a 0. And the x is x, I don't know. So anyway, you get to, then Hoy is literally 0, because the slope is, well, the y is something in the x is 0. It is literally 0. That makes sense? Okay, that is all.